They are wearing Swarovski-encrusted Mickey ears, laughing in front of Cinderella's castle in a photo posted 3 minutes ago. Ironically, a real dream worth $4.2 billion is unfolding 3 time zones away on the New York Stock Exchange. When my father sees the ticker on that VIP resort screen, he won't see magic. He will see a death sentence for his rotting empire. And I am the executioner. My name is Sharon Brookfield, and at 5 in the morning in Seattle, the world is a wash of gray rain and charcoal sky. From the 42nd floor of the IPO headquarters, the city below looks like a dormant circuit board, waiting for a surge of power. My reflection in the floor-to-ceiling glass is ghostly. A pale face framed by severe dark hair. Eyes rimmed with the fatigue of 3 sleepless nights, yet burning with a cold, blue intensity. I am 28 years old. I am a doctor of biotechnology. And in exactly 4 hours and 30 minutes, I will be one of the wealthiest women in the Western Hemisphere. The office behind me isn't filled with balloons or champagne flutes.
No streames.
No party hats. And certainly no family members waiting to hug me. It is a sterile, temperature-controlled command center. The air smells of ozone and expensive espresso. A dozen monitors hum along the far wall, displaying pre-market analytics, global energy consumption rates, and the complex molecular schematics of the synthetic biofuel that is about to change the world. This isn't an office. It's a war room. And the silence here is heavy, the kind of pressure that cracks lesser people. I turn away from the window and the weeping rain. My gaze lands on the empty leather chair in the corner of the room. It was never meant to be empty. My mind drifts back to the phone call from 3 days ago. It had been brief. Under 2 minutes. I remember the exact timbre of my mother's voice, airy, distracted, the sound of wind whipping against a microphone in the background. I'm so sorry, Shar. The phone is still vibrating in my hand. Dad lights up the screen like a warning label. I don't answer. I don't reject the call either. I let it ring because for the first time in my life, he is the one waiting. The trading floor roars on the wall-sized screen behind me. Ethos Bio's ticker surges upward like a living thing. Analysts shout numbers. Commentators scramble for words strong enough to explain what they're witnessing. A clean energy biotech company doesn't just launch like this. It detonates. Elias steps closer. He doesn't say anything. He knows better. Some moments don't need witnesses. The call stops. 1 second of silence. Then my phone lights up again. This time it's a text. Dad. Sharon, pick up. We need to talk.
Now. Need.
Not want.
Not sorry. Need.
I set the phone face down. Because this moment doesn't belong to him. 5 years earlier, Pasadena, California. The garage smelled like oil, rust, and damp cardboard. It wasn't even a proper garage. It was a converted storage unit behind a defunct auto body shop, wedged between a tire graveyard and a drainage canal that overflowed every winter. Seattle rain had nothing on this place. I stood in the center of it at 23 years old, holding a key that had cost me my last $400. This was my lab.
No marble countertops.
No grant-funded equipment.
No assistance.
Just concrete floors, exposed wiring, and a single flickering fluorescent bulb. I dropped my duffel bag and listened to the echo. For the first time in my life, no one was watching me.
No expectations. No dismissive sighs.
No comparisons to Vanessa. Just silence. And freedom. I set up the cot first because sleep was optional but collapse wasn't. Then I unpacked the centrifuge I'd bought from a bankrupt startup in San Jose. The thing was older than me and screamed like a dying animal when powered on.
Perfect.
I didn't start Ethos Bio with a vision of billions. I started it with rage.
Pure foco drage.
Every time my father told me I didn't. The first headline goes live at 9:30, 1 a.m. Eastern. It isn't even subtle. Sterling Hale under federal investigation. Source documents link executives to drug safety fraud. I don't need to refresh the page. The alerts come in waves. Phones buzzing, screens flashing, analysts shouting across trading desks thousands of miles away. On my secondary monitor, Sterling Hale's ticker symbol turns red.
Deep red.
It drops 3% in 30 seconds. Then 5. Then 10. Inside the Ethos Bio Command Center, the celebration stutters. People notice the shift in my posture. Elias steps closer, lowering his voice. "It's begun," he says. I nod. I click once. Plan B. Release confirmed. The encrypted dossier detonates across secure journalist portals, regulatory inboxes, and legal watchdog servers. Hundreds of reporters receive access simultaneously. No single leak. No single source. An avalanche. Sterling Hale doesn't have time to spin. They don't even have time to deny. Because the documents aren't rumors. They're timestamps, signatures, internal emails, proof. On CNBC, a breaking news banner slams across the screen beneath my IPO coverage. Dual market shock. Ethos Bio surges as Sterling Hale plunges. The irony is surgical. Who leaked this? A reporter asks on air. The anchor shakes his head. Whoever it was, they came prepared. My phone rings again. Dad. I still don't answer. Because somewhere in Florida, Richard Brookfield is realizing that his life's work is unraveling in real time, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. Sterling Hale's PR team scrambles. Vanessa goes live on Instagram within minutes, face pale beneath heavy makeup. "This is a coordinated attack," she says, voice trembling. "We are the victims of." The broadcast cuts. Someone pulls the plug. Because victims don't dump toxic waste into wetlands. Victims don't falsify cardiac drug trials. Victims don't bribe inspectors. The market doesn't care about feelings. It cares about risk. And Sterling Hale has. The first knock comes at 7:12 p.m. It isn't loud. It isn't dramatic. It's careful. Measured. The kind of knock used by people who are afraid of the answer. I'm still at the office. Most of the team has gone home, drained by adrenaline and disbelief. The city outside the glass has gone dark, Seattle swallowed by rain and sodium streetlights. Elias looks up from a legal brief. "You expecting anyone?" "I already know." "Yes," I say. "Send them in." The door opens. My parents step inside. Together. As always. My mother looks smaller than I remember. Her hair is still perfect, but her hands tremble as she clasps her purse like a life preserver. My father's shoulders are rigid, his jaw clenched so tightly I can see the muscle twitch. Behind them, Vanessa hesitates. She doesn't step in at first. She studies the room, the screens, the height, the power, as if trying to understand how I built a universe she was never the center of. Then she walks in. The door closes.
No cameras. No lawyers.
Just blood. "This is where you've been hiding," my father says, his voice brittle with fury and disbelief. "Building," I correct. My mother takes a step toward me. "Sharon, sweetheart." "Don't," I say softly. She freezes. Elias moves to the side of the room, silent, observant. He's here as witness, not shield. Vanessa laughs, sharp, nervous.
"Wow," she says.
"So this is the Ice Queen headquarters." I don't look at her. I look at my father. "You falsified drug trials," I say. "You poisoned wetlands. You bribed regulators." He slams his hand on the table. "You think I didn't do what was necessary?" he snaps. "You think business is clean?" I tilt my head. "No," I say. "I think you were lazy." That lands harder than any accusation. His face reddens. "You ungrateful. You had a genius in your house," I interrupt. "And you put her on bookkeeping duty so you could fund pageants." Vanessa bristles. "Excuse me?" I finally look at her. "You were never the problem," I say. "You were the distraction." The morning after the IPO, I wake up alone.
No alarms.
No calls. No emergencies screaming for attention. Just rain tapping softly against the windows of my penthouse apartment, a space I moved into less than 12 hours ago and still doesn't feel like mine. The bed is too large. The ceiling too high. The silence too complete. For the first time in years, nothing needs me. And I don't know what to do with that. My phone rests on the nightstand. Face down. I haven't checked it since last night. I already know what it contains. Hundreds of messages, interview requests, congratulations, accusations. I roll onto my side and stare at the city. Seattle looks different from this height. Less oppressive, less urgent, like a system that can run without me constantly correcting it. That realization unsettles me. Power is intoxicating, but emptiness is sobering. By noon, I'm back at Bio. The building hums with a new energy, not frantic now, but reverent. People smile when they see me. Some look nervous, like I might disappear if acknowledged too directly. In the boardroom, legal updates scroll across the screen. Sterling Hale's assets are frozen. 3 executives arrested. Formal indictments pending. Richard Brookfield is no longer mentioned by name in internal memos. He is referred to as the former CEO. Vanessa has issued a statement through counsel. I was unaware of operational misconduct and am cooperating fully. Translation: save me. My mother hasn't spoken publicly. Elias watches me read.
You feel it now, he says.
I nod. I thought it would feel heavier, I admit.
It will, he says.
Just later. That afternoon, I decline 6 interview requests. I accept one. PBS. Not for the spotlight, but because their producer sends a message that simply reads, "We want to talk about ethics." The interview is quiet.
No traps. No sensationalism.
When they ask me if I regret what happened to my family, I pause. I regret that it was necessary, I say. But I don't regret. 6 months later, the world has moved on. The news cycle always does. Sterling Hale exists now only as a case study, a cautionary tale taught in business schools under fluorescent lights. Richard Brookfield is awaiting sentencing. His hair has gone fully gray in the courtroom sketches. Vanessa avoided prison through a cooperation deal and a lifetime ban from corporate communications. Her social media accounts are gone. The spotlight she lived in moved on without her. My mother relocated to a small coastal town in Maine. She volunteers at a library. She writes occasionally. The emails are polite.
Careful.
We are learning what distance without hatred looks like. Bio, meanwhile, has become infrastructure. Not flashy. Not loud. Essential. Our fuel powers cargo fleets, medical supply routes, and emergency response aircraft. Quiet systems that keep civilization moving when no one is watching. That's how I like it. I still wake early. Not because I have to. Because I want to. On a rain-softened morning, I stand again at the same glass wall on the 42nd floor. The city below is awake now. Buses, ferries, people moving with purpose. I'm no longer waiting for a surge of power. I am the current. Elias is retiring next month. We share coffee in the office kitchen like we've done 100 times. You going to miss this? He asks. The war room? I smile.
No.
The work, he corrects. Yes, I say. But not the fight. I've learned something over the last half year, something no amount of education taught me. Revenge feels powerful. Closure feels peaceful. They are not the same thing. The truth didn't make me whole, but it made space for wholeness. I fund scholarships now. Quietly. For kids who are brilliant and invisible. The kind that grow up learning early that love is conditional and excellence is survival. I never attach my name. I don't need to. One afternoon, I receive a handwritten letter. From Vanessa. 3 pages. Apologies. Explanations.
Pain.
Aryeh.